Well, guys, I'm back at it again for part two to this series because I did want to continue it. And I know it looks a little laggy here, but trust me, it smooths out. And I made the second room, and I chose, honestly, kind of a very large, complicated room. So, that was fun. Um, I'm sorry for it being a 30-minute video. I tried to cut it down, I really did. Listen, this is 10 times speed throughout the whole video. The thing is, this is 6 hours of footage nearly. Like, this takes time. This is not even a very detailed recreation. This stuff, world building, takes genuine time. So I try to cut it down. I'm not making this a two-part just for a single building. But 10 times speed. And it was crazy. And I'm not really sure why it's being laggy like this. I think it's because there's so many frames it has to skip through that it just kind of looks like it's lagging. See, right now it's smooth. I'm not sure. But yeah. So what I did at first is I moved the ceiling down in the spawn room to make it more rectangular, so it gives you that more rectangular feel instead of a square feel. And right now I'm just recreating the gate, because I had the game pulled up. I had to keep on going back in because of the time limit, obviously. And then I also had photos from I took, and I was referencing that on my other monitor. And this was a lot, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you, like, it strained me. I've been working on this for like nearly a week, spread apart, and this is 6 hours of raw footage. It's a lot of footage for a video. But, I've been enjoying it. I really enjoyed how this one came out. And I think that if you guys have been, anyone who's staying tuned for this is also going to enjoy how it came out. Now, obviously, I will play it in VR afterwards when I'm done with the whole project. But I'm not right now. So, yeah. I'm not going to talk the whole time, probably. Probably halfway through, I'll just let the video play. But there's not really too much to say. I just want to say, if you enjoy this content, I'd really appreciate it if you could subscribe or like or anything that supports me, because this is a lot to make. It takes a long time. It's a lot of time out of my day. Obviously, I choose to do this, but I really appreciate any support that you'd be able to give me, and it's completely free, obviously. But besides that, I hope you guys enjoy this. These next videos of this series, they should go a little smoother because obviously I have the wall decor down. I can copy and paste. The flooring I can copy and paste. So hopefully all the really tough aspects, especially since this is one of the most complicated rooms out of them all, just from the fact of its sheer size and the twist, the bends, it's just a lot. But yeah, so all the other rooms hopefully won't take as long time. Yeah, I don't know. Sorry, I was just looking at my phone. I am voicing over this because I'm not talking through this. I was watching YouTube. What I really hate about the flooring, which it took a long time because it's angled, and angling takes a lot. Like, it's really annoying to make. It takes a lot of time to get it right. So I had to keep on constantly referencing back and forth, and when the game ran out of time, I had to go rejoin a new lobby, and it takes a lot. But I got it done in the end. Took a while, but it's cool how it turned out, and I'm excited to make the next few rooms. I don't know how many to make. 5 minimum at least, I think. There are some parts I realized that I didn't have to put as much time into that I did. I definitely could have shortcutted it like I did later on. But it's whatever. It's a learning process for me too. world building. I've done it before in Unity, but this is like a big, test. It's a lot of fun. Honestly, I'm enjoying this, even through all the little annoyances and things. But once watching it all come together at the end, I think it'll be satisfying as it was to me as it will be to you. You can skip to the end, but like the last couple minutes, if you want to see me, because I walked through the Desert Temple in Dungeon Quest, and I walked through to my game in Unity at the end. So if you skip to the last couple minutes, you'll see it. Like I said, I'm sorry for the long video, but unfortunately, this is the point where I had to make everything from scratch. In the newer rooms, obviously, I'll be able to copy and paste more. But for this, I had to make everything from scratch, and I'm not the most efficient out there because I'm newer to world building in general. So I'm sorry about that. I tried the best I can, but more than 10 times speed, and anyone who wants to follow along roughly is going to be like, it's going to be a lot. So I figured this would be the perfect, even though this is a lot longer than I usually would ever make a video. And I realize this is not my typical content, but it does fit the Dungeon Quest theme for my channel, and Dungeon Quest isn't a need for content right now. And this is something that interests me, so I figured I'd capitalize on it. Yeah, so that's about it for that. You're gonna see this all come together. There's gonna be cuts here and there because I take breaks, over the days I've done it. So it's not gonna be one fluid thing, because if I had to do this all in one go, I'd go crazy, to be frank. There's a few parts I purposely didn't recreate one-to-one, and that's the bending on the floor pattern. I decided just to make it rough, like 90 degrees, because that would have took ages, and honestly I was getting tired. And the more I went on with this project, I realized that I'm not only making a one-to-one of the Desert Temple, I'm making my version of it. So even though I'm making like it, following it by the picture, if there's the things that I want to change here and there to make the process of it smoother for me, I will. Like the bending on the floor, that would have took, it's hard to do that. Not hard, but it would have took a long time to make it look good. And I'm not really the most skilled in Unity building, so I didn't want to do that, to be frank. And I didn't. I made it 90 degrees and it still looked fine. So it's whatever. I think we're all going to be able to appreciate the process along the way. Either way. So there are times, obviously here I am just walking through the dungeon to get to the point of where I want to be in the map. And I'm sorry that it looks so laggy, I think because of lack of frames, but it's whatever. So right now, what I kind of did for the planning first is I made the floor here first. And the gray is the area where like the walls like in between it and not completely taking up the area, you'll see. And I'm just going through and just creating the floor on a 1-to-1 scale right now. Not exactly 1-to-1, but as close as I can to make it. I'm kind of just eyeballing it a lot of the time, and I think it turned out fine. So I'm just creating the floor so I can get the walls and stuff up. And honestly, if you ask me for the longest part, it's hard to say. Each part took an equally long amount of time. I'm not gonna lie. But I guess in general, like the wall decoration, creating the wall decor, the pillar, putting it all together took maybe the longest in total. But it definitely didn't feel like the longest because it was kind of fun to see it all come together. So right here I'm running back because I ran out of time. And you can't glitch to spawn because if you didn't know, Dungeon Quest Desert Temple is procedurally generated, which means that it is random the order that they generate on, unlike every other dungeon. So the spawn isn't made, and that's why whenever you click start, the gate doesn't open as like a delay, because it's spawning the whole rest of the map. So it's not like I can glitch through the spawn and like, stay there for the whole time. No. So right here, I'm just creating the walls, the outline of the walls. And, nothing else much to it than that. What I did was I created the wall decor, or the wall, and then I added the wall decor on top of it. I made it separately. That was just the easiest way I found to do it. Luckily, Unity is pretty flexible with the way it handles groups of entities, and blocks. So it was not too hard just to resize and copy and paste. And the wall patterns aren't completely one-to-one replica, but you know, bite me, right? Like I did what I did, and I think it still looks good. I think I might add timestamps. I think it'd be pretty good for people to see like the general timestamp for each area I worked on for how much amount of time. Here I was using the calculator to see what angle I would put it at so it would like match perfectly. Surprise, you can use math to make things a little easier in Unity. And I'm not talking like the polygon theorem, right? I'm talking just regular subtraction to make the angles match up perfectly instead of just eyeballing it, which is what I did, and it turned out good. I would say this is a very messy build, even though it may not look like it in some areas. I'm not too good, and a lot of things are messy, but when you're in game, you're not going to really be noticing the fine details, so I didn't put too much time into it. And also, I have a sanity like every other human, so I didn't want to break myself, honestly. I wanted to make this a funner project. I didn't want to make it where I'm just splitting hairs, you know? So let's go real quick. Right here I'm just putting the gate so I would know like what size to make the walls for now, and then I'm just going to delete that. Here I was just testing it to make sure how it looks. It looks fine. So that's the general layout of the desert temple, and like I mentioned before, is here I'm making the pillar. You know, I'm starting on the wall decor, and because obviously I did the floor, I did the walls, now I have to start on the decoration, the pattern, flooring. I did realize that they used a different texture for some of it. It looked like more of a granite. So I did use a granite texture, even if it doesn't look exactly, because obviously Roblox textures, Unity textures, they're not the same. And they're not going to be the same, ever. So I had to find what looked alright and use those instead. I think it came out fine. Yeah, I'm just making the pillar so I can use it. If you're ever doing a project like this, guys, remember you can always copy and paste and certain things, you know, to make it run smoother if you're building, because if you don't copy and paste and you're just making everything over and over again, you're going to take forever. You're not going to have fun with a project, and the most important thing is to have fun with it, you know? So here I am importing the granite texture, a red granite texture, so I can use for little beams, because that's what they are, and I'm just going to change the tiling to make it fit better. So I decided on like 1010, I think. And later on I did make a mistake where I accidentally deleted the texture, and you cannot undo the action. So it turned all pink, but I fixed the one where you can see it. You'll see that later on. Honestly, it was a lot of the time was taken up by me looking back on the Dungeon Quest and photos. I'm a very particular person. I like things to be, if I'm making something, I want it to be as like the game was. And I did have to throw away that moral a few times, you know, for the sake of time, but I try to make it pretty accurate, and I think you're going to see that in the end. And if you're sticking through with me and my rambling, appreciate it, you know, I do. and I hope to get some support for this series because it's pretty unique. I think so, and I don't think any Dungeon Quest YouTuber has done this before. I haven't looked it up, and I won't, but I think it's cool, and it's something new, and I think it's pretty unique. So hope you support me. So here I am. I'm making the wall decor as I see in game, just outside, so I can paste it onto the walls. And I looked at how many for the circle. What I did is I looked at how many angle changes were there, and there was I gotta get my calculator up. 180. There was 12 of them, and so those 12 had 15 angles. Those 12 had 15 angles, 15 degrees. Sorry, I'm tired. So those 12, you see the 12 blocks, they all have a different angle, and it's 15 degrees shift per. So it'd be 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, 90, 105, and so on. So that's what I did here, and all I had to do was just fill in the triangular gaps, and it created a nice, perfect hemicircle. Because there's no hemicircle building block option that's hollow, at least. So I kind of just made one triangle, then I did the same thing. I shifted it by 15 degrees and copied and pasted it and shifted it by 15 degrees, and so on and so on and so on and so on and so on. A lot of this project was copying and pasting things I had already built, because that's what the Desert Temple isn't very detailed in a sense. But when you're recreating it on a complete scale, it is a lot more than you think. You have to appreciate how much time goes into some of these things. So I'm gonna let the video play out for a bit, and I'll stop talking for a moment. And well, this video is coming to an end, and I hope that, if you watched this far, I hope you enjoyed it. Um, like I said, I put a lot of time into this, and more time will be put into it. So any support, especially if you would care to subscribe, it's completely free. Subscribe. It's completely free, and if you liked how this project is turning out as much as I do, as you can see, there's a big difference between when I started and now. It almost looks like a bit of Dungeon Quest, but in a Unity engine. So obviously it's not completely the same, but I tried. Um, yeah. So I really do appreciate any support. It keeps me going, and my channel close to hitting 600, and that's gonna be huge. So I'm gonna stop talking for now, but I hope you enjoyed this, and if you watched all the way through, thank you for the watch time, and I hope you enjoyed this project, and there'll be more to come. If you like this, if you make your voice known in the comment section, it makes me more willing to do this. It encourages me. Other than that, I'm walking through right now, and you're gonna see that it's about the same in general. Obviously, I've said it. Scale is not 1-to-1 completely, but for the rough part, it is. So, yeah, stay nice out there, stay respectful, compliment your mother tomorrow, and see you guys.